We are live with Table Talk number 43. Thanks for streaming us live or maybe on demand through Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I am Mo Lightning. To my left, she is the lovely Lindsay with an E, who has been doing her lost bet homework.
Sure.
She's very excited about that. Very excited about that. Below both of us is the WWE Hall of Famer, a man who apparently had a little bit too much fun this past Saturday. Dvon Dudley, how are you, sir?
I'm still recuperating. I went out, and for the first time, and I don't know how long, I drank so much that Taylor had to carry me in the house.
Wow.
Put me in the bed. And when she walked out the room and she came back, she told her father, she goes, Dvon is in the bed with the garbage can on top of him. I don't remember any of it.
So what was the occasion? What were you celebrating?
There was no celebration. We just went out and had a good time, like right around the corner, and with two friends of ours that I haven't seen in a while. And yeah, it was like when I didn't realize it and it snuck up on me. And I just went, oh my God. I woke up the next morning sick as a dog.
Oh no.
Oh
I've
God.
never done that before.
God, it was so bad. You're a liar.
All right, well, thank you for sobering up in time for this show. Either, like next time, either stay drunk for this show or, continue to be responsible.
I'll be the only one. Come on.
Well, Lindsay does it on a regular basis. But if I'd ever decided to do that, I would have a garbage can sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
That way I would ask the questions and throw up in the process.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. A great visual that we start the show off with there.
Linda Blair,
yes. If you missed last week's show, we had Eileen Dietz of The Exorcist fame helping Dvon conquer his fears. So go ahead and check that one out on demand. I see all the comments coming in already. We're going to try to get to as many questions as we can with our guest, who is a former Divas champion, SmackDown Women's champion. She is one of the stars of Total Divas. She is the BOAT, the best of all time. She is the next member of the Hart Dynasty and Legacy. Her accolades go on and on. Welcome to Table Talk, the one and only NATALYA, Natty Neidhart.
Natty. Natty.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you for that introduction as well. I really appreciate that, Mo.
Hey, listen, Natty, when you're dealing with the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, taking it over of Bret the Hitman Hart, listen, you got to give a fantastic introduction. And that is exactly what you are. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
How's your mouth? You lost a tooth this week, right?
I have lost. This is the second time in a wrestling match that I've lost a tooth. I lost a tooth. I lost my front teeth a few years ago upon some impact in the ring. Like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I was in Las Vegas, had to get those fixed at an emergency dentist at like midnight. It was quite fun. This past week on Monday Night Raw, I got kicked in the mouth and that's, what, it's funny because people were asking me, they were like, oh, are you mad at Lacey? And the truth of the matter is no, because it's wrestling. It is not ballet. It's really, really, ballet is tough too, but it's hard as hell. And when we get in there, it's go time and the girls don't play. I think sometimes the girls hit harder than the guys. And Lacey's a big girl. She's a strong girl. She's a badass. And she booted me and caught me. She booted me in the tooth. It fractured my tooth. And my tooth just it was gone. So I got backstage and I was like, oh my God, I lost a tooth.
Well, I think Natty hit it right on the button. I mean, the women today wrestling, and it is amazing. And I've said this before on the show, that there's a lot of times I like watching the women more than I do the men. And I'm not taking anything away from the men, but the women have come such a long way, and now they have become equal, if not more. And some of the fans might get mad at me when I say that, but it's the truth. These women go out there and bust their behind every single week, whether it's TV or live events, they hit sometimes just as hard as the guys. And, you know, again, it makes me happy that I'm retired and not in an intergender match. I would hate to get hit by Natty right now.
Yeah, no, we had a couple hard-hitting moments in that match. I got backstage and somebody was like, "Did Lacey owe you money?" And I was like, but that's what I love about, like, I love the physicality and I love like the intensity and I love how the girls bring it. And you know, it just makes me so excited to be competing in the ring, especially on Monday in that battle royal, because you know, we don't get to be a part of the main event every single week. So when we are the main event of Monday Night Raw, we know that we got to bring everything that we have. And it was just so much fun. And like, I love being in there with girls from Raw and SmackDown. And of course, you know, obviously I didn't win the match, but and Lana eliminated me and she won it. But I was excited even just to see her get that opportunity, because she's not used to getting that spotlight either, especially in the ring.
Natty, one of the questions I've always wanted to ask you, and I never did. Now, of course, growing up in the Hart family, and of course, we always talk about your grandfather, Stu, and the dungeon, things like that. Did you ever, how can I say this? Were you ever in the dungeon training? Did you ever have to, you know, be with your grandfather? Did he ever put you in one of those holds where you had to cry and scream to get out of it? Were you ever part of the dungeon?
Yeah, I started my training in the dungeon, and my grandfather, thank God, he never put me in one of his holds. My grandfather was really traditional. He supported women's wrestling, but I think because I was his granddaughter, he was a little bit more like, he was very gentle and loving towards his daughters and his granddaughters. But he came down and he watched many of my practices when I was first starting out. He'd come down, and I remember one time my grandfather showing me how to throw a forearm. And he said that he taught my dad how to do that too, because a lot of people don't know this, but my dad was actually the very, very last person that my grandfather, Stu Hart, trained.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, so my dad was the last student of Stu's. So my grandfather would come down and watch some of the practices in the dungeon, and he taught me how to throw a forearm. So, but TJ, my husband, Tyson
Right.
Kidd, TJ actually was put in a lot of submissions by my grandfather. And my grandfather was a shooter. Like, he was amateur.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, he was amateur wrestling champion of Canada. And, you know, it's funny, there's a good story behind this, but my grandfather, in his wallet, he only had one picture in his wallet. And, you know, like, you think about when, you know, you probably think Stu's wallet, it'd probably be Helen, my grandmother. But the person that was in my grandfather's wallet, the only picture he had was of a guy named Luther Lindsay. And Luther Lindsay was actually a shooter that he was the only person to tap my grandfather out. So my grandfather kept a picture of him and Luther Lindsay in his wallet. Google Luther Lindsay. That guy tapped my grandfather out, and my grandfather had so much respect for him that he literally kept like a little photo of him in his wallet, and like it was like the most prized thing he had.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So on that topic, what's the weirdest thing in your wallet or purse?
Ooh, well, let me think. The weirdest thing that I've got in my purse, I think I probably carry way too much makeup in my purse. I'm just trying to think, what do I have that's weird in there? I've got so many different purses.
You wouldn't happen to have an anvil in there, would you?
No, I don't have an anvil in there. I have a few cat toys in my purse.
Ah.
I don't ask why. I just somehow their toys land in my purse. But I was getting to work the other day. I'm like, why do I have catnip in this purse?
Now, Lindsay, what you may not know is Natty is a huge cat lover. And
Really?
yes, and not to mention, let me put it to you this way: her Instagram account is one of her cats, and the Instagram has more followers than I do. So
I like that.
It has most. Hey, let me tell you, she's got more followers than most wrestlers. Period. I mean, it's amazing. Her cat is over like there's no tomorrow. And how many cats do you have? By the way,
I have 5 cats, and the cat that Dvon is talking about is Two Paws.
Yes.
So I've got Two Paws. He was named after Tupac.
Gotcha.
But Tupac's Machiavelli, who's also named after Tupac rap album.
Machiavelli. Yep.
Louis, Boo, and Charlotte. And Charlotte was named after the book Charlotte's Web, but everybody thinks I named her after Charlotte Flair. But I've got 5 cats. They're like spoiled. They run the entire house. They're so spoiled. I can't even, like, every couple years I got to buy a new couch because the cats, they all have their claws. I can't take the claws away. They scratch everything. And they're so spoiled. They just literally dominate the whole entire house.
I love it, as cats should.
They're just brats.
So Dvon won't be visiting you either.
Something just clicked in my head with the Tupac names and references of the cats and your Instagram handle, Nat by Nature. Do you have a thing for 90s hip hop?
Well, you know what? I got that moniker from Dusty Rhodes. When I was in developmental, Dusty Rhodes said she's natty by nature, but naughty by choice. And I always loved that because I was like, only Dusty would come up with something that brilliant. So I would always say natty by nature, naughty by choice, insane by genetics. And I was like, that's a cool Twitter handle. So when I was, when Joey Styles was in WWE, he helped me set up my Twitter account. And he's like, yeah, you should use that. Use Natty by Nature. So Joey Styles, there's my little tribute to him. He's one of the reasons why I also have that name on my Twitter handle. Looking back on it, I'm like, I should have just kept it at, Natty or something. But people know me as that now on social media through all my platforms.
I think it's great. Great. But since I brought up the topic of music, what do you listen to? Who are your favorite artists?
I do really listen to so many different types of music. I love Tom Petty, love the Smashing Pumpkins, love the Doors, love Willie Nelson. TJ, my husband, he only listens to rap. So it's like DMX, Tupac, Jay-Z, all that. I do love that kind of, I'm a big Tupac fan. But I love old country too. I love Kenny Rogers. I love George Strait. I love, like I said, Willie Nelson. My dad loved Willie Nelson, but my dad also loved, my dad was really, when I was looking through my dad's iPod, he had Miley Cyrus on there and stuff. So,
well-rounded. I love it.
I would have
very well-rounded. But I think for me, if
that.
I only had if somebody were to say what's your favorite band or what's your favorite musician, I love Stevie Nicks. Okay. So he's my favorite.
All right. Yep. I can see that. Now, Natty, I got to ask you a question. Now, we all know that the television show Total Divas was a huge hit and still is. People talk about it today. I can't begin to tell you how many young girls come down to the Dvon W Academy and actually, you would ask them, hey, do you remember the Attitude Era? What started you and this and that? And a lot of them go, no, Natty, she was on Total Divas. I watched Total Divas. I love wrestling. Do you hear that a lot? That a lot of the female stars are coming up now in the business, never knew anything about wrestling, but can tell you about Total Divas. Did anybody ever come to you and reference that at all?
Yeah, actually, it's a great question and a really good point. So many people getting in the industry and women in general that never ever watched WWE before come to me and say, I never ever watched the show, but I saw you on Total Divas and I brought my family to a live event and we love WWE now. So Total Divas has been such an incredible tool to bring people into. It's a great, it transcends from, women that never watched wrestling before, that they're all of a sudden, they watch Total Divas, they watch the Kardashians, they watch shows like, The Real Housewives. And then now they're that, it's that demographic. And it's a lot of women and moms, as we know, make so many decisions in a household. But yeah, so many, and women come up to me saying, I want to get into wrestling because of you, because of Total Divas, because of, your presence on the show, or the Bella Twins, or Naomi, people like that have been on the show that they're fascinated by Total Divas because it really, we've done almost 150 episodes of Total Divas. And of course, because of the pandemic, things are on hold right now with that show.
Right.
It's very challenging. Obviously, the world is challenged right now, but it's very challenging to get a camera crew back, an extra group of people, which is usually when we film the show, there's 10, 15, 20 extra people part of that crew. So it's very challenging to get 8 girls together to do a cast vacation somewhere tropical. We can't. It's a very challenging time to film that show because we can't just isolate it at like, okay, we're only going to film at Natty's house. You know, it's a show about a group of women. I mean, they can all come over for 3 months. We can quarantine and film the show, but I loved doing that show because it gave us that very concentrated amount of time for people to really get to know Natty and the Bellas. And, you know, when Eva Marie was on the show, they got to know her or Summer Rae or Naomi or Cameron, the cast members that were on the show. It just gave people a really deep chance to get to know us and to know me and to know that I'm more than just a female wrestler, but what I do, my day job, is really freaking cool. You know, it's not the norm.
Now, Noelle wants to know, will you be making any cameos on Total Bellas this season?
This season, no. I think the twins have been very smart about, just especially with the new babies and everything, and their mom has been going through a lot with her. She had a tumor removed from her brain, and so I think that for them, they're being very careful about just keeping it a really small group. Which is smart. I mean, again, with the pandemic, everybody has to be so smart, including us at WWE. As Dvon knows, you know, the testing is so strict, and only a certain few people can enter the building at work, and you know. So I would absolutely love to make a cameo on Total Bellas, but I do understand that they're keeping it very, you know, a very tight ship as far as people. That's been the hardest part, I think, for me with, you know, besides the obvious downfall of COVID, you know, affecting everybody and people having passed away from it, being sick from it. But I think the biggest, most challenging thing for us, as Dvon knows, is that we're so used to being around our fans, people. Yeah. We like, I miss walking into the building and signing autographs for all the fans before I get into the building. You know, I miss seeing our fans, like I miss having them out there with us. I miss the interaction with them before the show, after the show. Like I just miss all of that. I miss the interactions with humans. So I'm looking forward to when we can, you know, have a WrestleMania again in a stadium and do an access where we have a long lineup outside the door and I can take selfies and interact, because I think that's the most fun part of our job is the people, being with people.
That it is. I mean, it's one of those things where I think life as we know it is temporarily on hold.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we are doing now. Even when we do interviews and things like that, everything is virtual now. There's no in-house. There's no any of that.
Right.
And, you know, when you look at what we do for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, you know, we have the virtual fans. But again, it's different. It's not like actually having the fans there, interacting with them and being able, you know, to hear that real roar of the crowd. So
right.
It's definitely something that we've had to get used to. And I think that we're definitely doing a great job in doing it. But like you said, the day will come where we will be able to go back to normalcy.
Yeah, I can't wait for that day. I mean, it's just, you're right, Dvon. Everybody's on hold. You know, so it's like, and I sometimes, you know, I'm human, so I'll be like, gosh, I wish we had fans again. I wish we had this. I wish we had that. I wish we were, you know, still filming this show or doing that or doing an interview. I mean, I love doing our media days in New York City where we would go and do all these, like, you know, do all this press and stuff. But right now, we just have to be so grateful for our health. You know, just we're healthy. My family is healthy. You know, we're still WWE. I'm so proud of everybody that I work with because we've still found a way to do what we do and to entertain people and to continue to grow our company. You know, and since the pandemic started in March, WWE has gotten almost 20 million more YouTube subscribers. People don't even realize that, but I learned that this past week, which shows you that WWE is so ahead of the curve. When, you know, we were already going so digital, we've been so focused on social media and being digital even before the pandemic. So when this happened, we just, boom, we adapted.
Wow. Well, look, one of the questions I've got to ask you, and this is going back to this past Monday night. You win that battle royal. We talked about Lacey, you know, knocking the tooth out and this and that. But you eliminated Lacey, and here it is. We thought you won. But then, long and behold, your partner in crime, someone who you thought that had your back, basically decided they were going to go into business for themselves, and well, they eliminated you. What's your thoughts on that?
I was shocked, especially because when I eliminated Lacey, it took every ounce of strength that I had to literally. I mean, Lacey's like 5'10", 5'11", and she's literally dangling upside down, legs wrapped around my neck. She's trying to use all of her strength to pull me out of the ring, and of course, win the battle royal. And I'm just like praying to God that I don't fall off that apron. So I finally just took her body and used all my momentum and hurled her into the ropes.
Yes.
And so as I'm pulling myself up on the ropes, all of a sudden I get whacked in the back of the head and booted in the back by Lana. I was like, okay, Lana, you I've like reached the breaking point with you, because Lana, she was supposed to be my advocate. She was supposed to be an effective tag team partner for me. She lost 1 match. She lost 2 matches. She lost 3 matches. She lost 4 matches. She went through 4 tables. And I
had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with it.
And I just literally am like, listen, I get it. You're like a little butterfly learning to fly, but you're really starting to piss me off. So Lana, to say the least, Lana and I need some couples therapy counseling.
Sounds like me and Bubba at times. Hey, now, Mo and Lindsay, I don't know if you know this, but Natty and the Amazon used to Beth Phoenix. And I found this out when Bubba and I came back to WWE. And it was actually the first time I had met Natty. And Natty gave me some insight on how her and Beth used to pretend like they were the Dudley Boys.
Oh.
And, they were calling themselves the girl version of the Dudley Boys. Now, Natty, I never asked you this question, but I'm going to ask you now and put you on the spot. Who was Bubba Ray and who was Dvon?
I'm going to say Beth was Bubba and I was Dvon.
I can see that.
Yeah, Beth is, I always joke with Beth about this. She was Moolah, I was Mae Young. She was Oprah, I was Gayle King.
That's great.
But it's funny because we did our first ever tables match in 2010 when I was the Divas champion, and Beth was my partner in the match. And Beth and I, we had planned a spot, and we were like, we got to do this. This is like a big part of the match, but we didn't tell anybody else. And right before the finish of the match, but like right in a very high point of the match, Beth grabs me by the shoulders, and we both say at the same time, "Get the table!" And you can go back into the match and watch that. It was so funny because we were like, "We gotta pay homage to the Dudleys. Get the table!" But that was our first ever tables match. So we're like, if we're gonna be in a first ever tables match, we've got to basically we got to be the Dudley Boys.
There you go.
So that's what we did.
Well, I'm so glad you were Dvon.
So Beth obviously had a bit of a comeback and returned to the ring. When is Dvon going to come out of retirement?
Here we go. Now,
every week.
You don't have to answer that question.
Yeah,
I
do.
am not. No, they do this every single time we have a guest, and they always want to try to get me. I'm not coming back. I'm happy as a.
What's that? Oh, we lost you, Dvon. We lost you. Oh, okay. Well, so Natalya, when is he coming out of retirement?
Well, I mean, this is the thing about wrestling, our world of, the wild, wonderful, magical world of WWE is that it's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. So nobody ever, ever, ever retires from pro wrestling, ever. Once you do this, you become part of this family. It is in you forever. It's in you forever, and it never goes away, ever.
Oh, he's still muted. My bad. I meant to unmute you. Yeah.
Whatever.
Thank you, Natalya. Definitely appreciate that. Question from Brian here. Your absolute favorite Heart Foundation memory?
Ooh, gosh, there's so many funny memories about my dad and Brett. It's funny because I was talking to Brett the other night and I was telling him that my favorite movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because it reminds me so much of my dad and Brett, my dad being John Candy, Brett being Steve Martin. And Brett was like, Natty, I can't even tell you how many times your dad pissed me off on the road. It made me so angry, but I look back on it now going, God, that was so funny. And Brett just has so many like stories of like what, I mean, yes, there's amazing memories inside the ring that they had, but they've had so many amazing matches, like their matches against the British Bulldogs, their matches against the Rockers. But Brett had this really funny story that he doesn't talk about and hasn't shared it. I don't believe he's shared it, but he had a funny story about, which is again, going back to that movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, if you've ever seen it, where they checked into a hotel room. It was like a snowstorm outside and there was like one room left. And there was like only one bed in the room left. And it was like a hotel that was just really run down and like there was cigarettes and cockroaches. And Brett was like, well, we don't have a choice. We only have like one room. We're lucky we even got this room. There's only one bed. And Brett tells this funny story about my dad, like he wakes up in the morning. My dad is just hugging him, like holding him and hugging him. Brett's like, what are you doing? Like it was something out of a movie. And then my dad and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. My dad had a few drinks before he went to bed, and in the middle of the night, my dad thought that he was going to the bathroom and he actually ended up peeing in Brett's luggage.
Oh no!
And Brett was so pissed off about my dad spooning him when he woke up. Brett was like, Jim, get off of me. I'm sorry. Did I do something to offend you? Brett's like, no, but you're really getting on my nerves. Brett walks into the bathroom. There's like sopping wet towels. There's a big mess. My dad was just like very messy. So Brett's pissed off. And then he goes to like close his luggage and wheel it out. And there's piss coming out of the luggage. And Brett's like, I'm going to kill you, Jim. But it was like such a funny story. And Brett said, he's like, God, I loved your dad so much. We just had so much fun together. He's like, those are the moments that I love even more like than even what we did in the ring, because, you know, it's just that human side that people don't know about, but that only Brett and my dad shared.
Now, Natty, are there any moments with any of the women in the locker room now or past that you might have shared the same relationship with?
Gosh, there have been so many moments, especially with Beth Phoenix when I was traveling with her. I mean, we would room together. We would talk. We would say goodnight to each other, and we would we'd share a room and we'd each have a bed in the room. But we would be like up to like 5 a.m. talking. We would almost miss our flight the next day. We would go to the gym and work out together. And Beth would be like, "We're gonna have a light day. We're not gonna do much. We're tired. We didn't get much sleep." Next thing you know, we're squatting like 300 pounds. And Beth's like, I'm like, Beth, I can't do this. You know, she's like, yes, you can, Natty. I'm like, this might be a light day for you, but this isn't a light day for me. But Beth and I had so many funny moments. Like I remember we almost didn't make a flight, and I like basically had to bribe the flight attendant to even get on the plane, like at the front desk when I was checking my bag in. And I pretended that Beth and I got into this huge fight. I'm like, well, it was her fault. She missed the turn. We couldn't find the exit for the airport. God, you're so stupid, Beth. And then Beth would pretend to like cry. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything right, Natty. I guess I'm just a failure. And the flight attendant was like, felt so bad for Beth because I was like, we were having this pretend fight to basically get on the plane. She's like, ladies, it's fine. Just here, give me your bags. I'll get you on. Just please be nicer to each other. And we're like, then Beth and I walk away bursting into tears, laughing, going, yes, we made it on the plane.
Now,
and
here's
then,
the key.
Of course,
Here's the key.
Arn Anderson we're like boarding the plane with Arn Anderson. Arn's like, girls, I thought you weren't going to make this flight. We're like, oh, no, we were fine. We just, we had a little pit stop on the way.
Now, here's the key question. Did your bags make it?
Yes. Thank God. Yeah, that day the bags, I do remember they did make it. Yeah.
Wow. That was pretty good.
We've had a lot of those moments where they were close calls.
Fantastic.
Tyrell wants to know, how's TJ's neck doing?
Good. It's really good. I probably worry more about TJ's neck than he does, just because like I'm just very protective of him, and TJ is good. I mean, he's in a really, really good place. He absolutely loves being a producer in WWE, and in seeing him be a producer in the company, I've also had a different appreciation for the producers. We'll give Dvon a little clap.
Thank you.
yeah, I've had a different appreciation for the producers because TJ is a producer. He's been a producer for a few years. And it is probably one of the hardest jobs, if not the hardest job in the company, because there's just so many things that I see that TJ has to do and balance. And you're literally, it's just a balancing act all day. So while we, as the wrestlers, as the talent, we may be only focusing on one thing, like our match, the producers have so many other things that they're focusing on, and they're also producing multiple matches. They're dealing with multiple people. They're making sure, okay, we got to make sure this prop is there and this table is set up and everybody knows this. And, you know, producers, I mean, again, you think about Dvon and Shawn Michaels and Triple H and, you know, I'm just trying to think who else is now behind. Like,
one of those is not like the other.
It's hard though, because the producers literally, like, they've got to see everything differently than they've ever seen it before. So it's a balancing act, and I give the producers so much credit, because if we make a mistake in the ring, sometimes we don't get in trouble, but the producers will get like, hey, why did that happen? Or like, you know, again, this is kind of inside talk, but it is challenging, and I know TJ loves it, but I know it's very hard, and I just have a different appreciation for it. But getting back to TJ's neck, he's good. He's doing great. He's healthy. He's spoiled rotten, and gosh, I'm trying to think of anything else.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Natty, we know we got to let you go. We want to thank you for coming on Tabletop, but where can we find Natty? Where can we find Natalya? What social media is? Give me all the information if we want to get in touch with you on social media.
I could talk all day with you guys.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't feel like it was already been 30 minutes.
No, I really, really appreciate you guys having me on. This was really a highlight of my day. And of course, anytime Dvon asks me, like, you know, hey, can you help out, or can you do this, or even just, you know, it's a huge honor for me. So I'm truly grateful and very appreciative of this interview. But you can find me on Twitter at Nat by Nature, and on Instagram at Nat by Nature, and on my YouTube channel that I do with my sister, who, by the way, my sister Jenny does not behave. Jenny is she's very scandalous, and I'm constantly telling her to please settle her tea kettle. But we have a YouTube channel that we started during quarantine, and it's actually been really fun, and it's called The Neidharts. So you guys can check us out on that, and it does tend to get a little PG-13, but but as Jenny says, that's where we get all the likes.
Well, a long time ago, something that most people don't know, about 4 years ago, you and I very briefly talked about hosting a podcast together. So if you ever get tired of your sister, then go ahead. You consider us, and we'll do a show together.
Oh, I'd love that. Thank you so much.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Now, Natty, now so we got to let you go. But one thing I got to say, a lot of people, if they don't know you the way I do, and your social media, there's a little thing that Natty likes to do every once in a while with some of the other female wrestlers in the back, and she loves to dance. And every time I see it on social media, I crack up. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. Natty always says, Dvon, I'm so horrible. I said, but that's what it's so good, though.
It's so bad.
Good.
Good.
It's so good.
And
I was like, I love it. You are the greatest when it comes to that.
That's what we do, is like part of, you know, especially with backstage in the locker room with the girls, it's like a sisterhood. So a lot of those dances are backstage in the locker room, deep in the locker room, where it's like we were on tour and we were dancing. I've done the dances with Sasha Banks. I've done them with, I remember doing one with Becky Lynch where Becky was just sitting there like this.
Yes.
And I was just like doing this, like, I mean, I do love dancing to Whitney Houston. That's my favorite.
Yes, absolutely.
But part of, like, it's a sisterhood. We just want to have, girls just want to have fun. And that's what we do. And I just, you know, whether you're a good dancer, you're a bad dancer, as long as you own it, nobody can take it from you.
Dvon, are you implying that you would like to dance with Natalya right now? Is that,
you know what? I think not now, because, you know, I like it. Well, no, here's the deal. When she does it in person with the girls and things like that. I want to do it with Natty in person. I want to be able to do those moves like she does. But I think she'll like outdance me. That's how good I think you are when it comes to that.
Next time we're at TV, I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna dance. And we're gonna get it on Instagram.
Get someone to record that for us, please.
Oh no, it's gonna be on social media. I'm sure of
Okay.
it. Anytime me and Natty do anything, it goes right on social media.
If you didn't put it on social media, it did not happen.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your time again, Nat. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the entertainment you do for us, and stay safe.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mo, Lindsay, and Dvon.
Yes,
thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. You are a pleasure and God sent. Thank you so much. Love you, baby.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
She's the
even
best.
realize it's been half an hour. I could listen to her talk all day.
Yeah, she's that good. She's great conversation, is someone that you can just talk to all day long and never be bored. Never be bored. She is a sweetheart. I don't think there's ever been a bad thing ever said about Natty. And again, she's warm. She thinks about others before she even thinks about herself. If we could just have more people like her, that'd be great. I think the world would be great. But then again, you open your eyes and get out of fantasy world and come into reality. We got to deal with all of this garbage, the pandemic, the freaking politics that's going on right now. And I like to always say this on every show for the past 4 or 5 weeks. You guys got to get out there and vote. It's very, very important. Please, by all means, again, and I say this all the time, you can't be disappointed if the guy you did not want in office didn't make it, especially if you did not vote. So please go out on November 3rd, go out and vote. And if you can, if you don't want to go out in person and do that, do the mail-in ballots, and let's make it count.
Yeah, I voted mine. I did my early voting, so I officially put that in the box yesterday. So
I saw it on social media, so it actually happened.
So many, exactly. I put it on social media because if it's not on social, it didn't happen. So. The boxes are there. A lot of states opening up, so really no reason not to. I'm hearing there's record numbers already in Texas after the first day of opening it up. I mean,
awesome.
That's a good sign that people are going out and taking life seriously. So the way it absolutely should be. So what's going on in everybody's worlds there, Lindsay? What's new with you?
Not much. I'm just avoiding shopping on for any type of squirrel girl outfit or anything like that. I haven't been able to find anything, so I'm just.
We implied at the beginning of the show, though, you were doing a little bit of research. You found a little bit of Tiger King underwear.
I did. I went on Amazon and unfortunately found a pair of boxers, so I'm okay with that. But I started my own wish list on Amazon.
Lindsay, I'm gonna have a heart here. I'm gonna put this on you. You lost the bet. You're supposed to dress up, grant you, but I'll let you get out of it if you want. I won't hold you to it.
Dot.
Well, what?
No, I won't hold you to it. If you want to pass on this, because you're actually, it's been almost 3 weeks now, and you still haven't done it. So therefore, you're stalling. And you're stalling.
There's Walmart is just so much COVID there. I just can't go.
When's the last time you've been grocery shopping?
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks.
When's the next time you're going grocery shopping?
Next December.
Exactly.
Hey. Okay, listen. Thank you, Kyle. I don't know what I did, but thank you.
He's already picturing you in that schoolgirl outfit.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I can put my wish list online and then I'll just leave it in people's hands. I can't spend money on stuff like that. It's just I have bills to pay and I don't need it. What?
Those bills will be easier to pay after you put on this outfit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hell, you may not never know. You might be a sensation.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You may be what the show needs to step up, go to the next level.
Absolutely. You might be. Go Liz.
Hi, Aunt Timmy. That's my aunt. She supports me. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, Noel, you're such a kiss ass.
I mean, for my bills? Okay, thank you.
Oh, look at this. Kyle's offered to help out.
Oh gosh, thanks.
I bet he is with his camera.
He's some Photoshop.
At least it's in the profile picture, so at least he's on to something. It's not just like a normal picture. I'm great at photography.
I can use my
Fantastic.
phone. Okay, so what's going on with you, Dvon?
Well, I'm other than recuperating from this past Saturday night, was very happy. And believe it or not, I was never really a big LeBron James fan. And so when the Lakers actually won the championship, I was kind of happy. And I was kind of happy. I mean, listen, the man went from Cleveland to Miami, won a championship in Miami, then went back to Cleveland, won it in Cleveland. Now he's won it in LA, so I still think Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player of all time. And there are these new millenniums out there that will dispute that. And that's fine. I get it. You have yours. I have mine. But at the same token, I got to give LeBron, props. I mean, congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers and winning, an NBA championship this year. And, again, the best of luck to them in the future. And, let's go Knicks.
I think sports betting on your phone and whatnot's legal where I'm at. So they've already put the NBA odds for next season up. And I'm a diehard Phoenix Suns fan, no matter how many bad seasons in a row we have. So I put like $10 down right now. That's like $1,000 win for me if they win the championship next year.
Now, wait a minute. Now, what happens if the Knicks actually miraculously does it? Because I'm from New York, huge Knicks fan, loved the Knicks all through the 90s. Was upset with the Knicks when they traded Patrick Ewing to the Supersonics, because I thought Ewing should have just stayed there, played it out, and retired as a Knick. But, I'm not behind the scenes in basketball, so I don't know how that transpired. But when that happened, I kind of went with the Lakers. I jumped on the bandwagon, got with Kobe, loved it, and then now kind of went back to my original team, which is the Knicks. So I'm excited to know what the odds would be if the Knicks actually won the NBA championship next year.
All right, so they're tied for last with the biggest odds, 4-team tie with the biggest odds, along with Charlotte, Cleveland, and Detroit.
Okay, so if I gave you $20, would you put a bet on for me?
Sure. Yeah, I could do that. It'd be a hell of a win if you put $1 down on the Knicks right now. You would come back with 50,000.
Okay, as I said, I'm gonna give you $20. I'll give you 20. I can spurge that. We can eat some rice and beans for at least another month or two, and hopefully I'll keep my fingers crossed. And hopefully the Knicks will pull something out of their behinds and wake up. I mean, shit, the Knicks haven't been good since 1979, 78, maybe even before that. But hey, what the heck? You never know what would happen with the Knicks. You never know what happened, period.
This is true. Right. This is true. Now there is something. Yeah, Lindsay loves the sports ball. Maybe this one will be a bit more down her alley here. I wanted to kind of continue off of last week's with Eileen and the Exorcist talk and whatnot, and ghosts in general. Dvon, do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in an afterlife. I believe in paranoia. I believe in things like that. I believe that there are things roaming that we can't see. I do believe that. But I believe there's a ghost in my house. I believe, but I believe the ghost is a good ghost. And what I say,
what is it like? Grab your butt?
Well, I wish if that was the case. I mean, I would never leave home. I wish.
Like a Patrick Swayze ghost, is he like holding you from behind?
Whoa, hey, wait a minute. This is a PG show. You can't do that. Go from behind.
This is a good movie. No, helping you make pottery.
But no, I like remote controls disappears. Like things that you put right there, car keys or what have you. They just miraculously just gone, and they're like somewhere totally on the other side of the house. And damn well that's not the case. But I mean, do I believe in it? Yeah, yes, I do. I don't believe, people with, sheets over their head going boo. I don't believe in that, but I do believe in the supernatural and paranormal. I believe in all of that stuff. Yes.
Lindsay, what about you?
I don't want to, but there's too much that happens that can't be a coincidence.
Do you have any groping poltergeists in your house?
Not yet. This is an older house that was built in the 50s. And I don't know, not yet that I know of.
Laura, that sounds dirty. I'm not going to lie. That sounds dirty.
I like her.
So do I.
No, come on.
I agree with Lindsay. There's too much unexplained for something not to exist in this case.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring this up is because it was actually a sports betting site decided to take a survey and collect all this data to look at the states with the most hauntings and the least hauntings. And I know that you are, a bit more of a scaredy cat, Dvon. So I want you to know that Florida is dead last in ghost sightings.
Really?
Really?
Even in St. Augustine? Wow.
Dead. Just last.
Dead, like dead ghost dead, like dead, like ghost dead.
Ghosts don't like to tan, and there's a lot of beaches there.
Okay.
What about, is it Casadega? Like just past Daytona, I believe is one of the haunted cities in the U.S. And one of my students live up there, and I hear about stories up there all the time. There's actually a hotel that people fly in to go stay at because all this crazy stuff happens in this hotel. But then again, you can find a hotel like that pretty much anywhere in the United States, and probably in the UK. Because if you think about it, most of this ghost stuff and paranormal stuff, this all happens, a lot of it happens in the UK anyway, in these freaking 1855 mansions that they have out there. So, you just never know. But I listen, you can't think that we're the only ones here. Even when you pass on, something has to happen. I just don't think that you pass on and that's it. It's nothing. Some people I feel get trapped. They get trapped in this world, as some people say, and they roam the earth, lost.
Laura, our paranormal expert, saying that Key West is very haunted. They just don't go out to the beach because
they say,
and we can't do
exactly. They say at Hemingway House. About Key West.
Yeah. So Lindsay, you're in North Carolina. You are near the bottom of the list. I think you're around like 12 or 13 for least hauntings.
Okay. But there's a lot of hauntings around here.
But I thought this was fun because there's Dvon, who's in Florida, the very last place. I'm in Illinois, which is number 1.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Not like Massachusetts, or like where the founding fathers are from and stuff?
Nope. Illinois, where there's nothing to do and you die of boredom.
Oh, and they're all stuck because they're bored.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just practicing. My complexion is just practice for the afterlife.
I see that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not that scared. I mean, Elaine, she helped me out a lot. I overcame my fear of The Exorcist to a certain degree. Don't get me wrong. I've overcome. Jamal, stop.
I was laughing at a comment. I was laughing at this. Nathan said he loves me. And then there's another one that you can maybe respect. Greg wants to know if I can be replaced with Bubba.
No. Listen, I love.
I want to.
Oh boy, listen. I know I'm gonna regret saying this, but I love Mo. I love Mo. I don't want to replace Mo. I like Mo.
Wow.
Mo is my new Bubba.
What?
Sweet. Next time I see you, I'll be like, Dvon, get the tables. And you'll be like,
so glad.
Please.
No. I love it. Well, you know what? It'd be a lot easier, this time around, because if I have you as a tag team partner, I'm going to have you do all the work.
I'll tell you now, I'm lazy, but hey, we'll work on that later. We'll worry about that later. Janine wants to know what's in the cup, Lindsay.
What you think it is what's in there. There you go.
It's something that'll make you smile and make you feel happy. I can tell you that much.
It's something I have to consume to deal with these two.
Yeah.
So no.
It'd be hard to keep Bubba PG. That is correct. That is absolutely true. I like Kyle's suggestion. Mo, get the candy.
Mo, get the candy. I like that. I'm not mad at that either. If you did, I mean,
what about this? What about Byron's offer there, Dvon? Where next time you're in Maryland, that you can walk the Exorcist stairs.
Yeah. No. Well, you know what? It's only the stairs. Listen, the actual stairs in the movie, nothing really happened over there. Now, a lot of people, they watch the movie and they honestly, would like to make the stairs seem like this haunting over there or something abnormal over there. But all they did was film the stairs. So I don't think I would be scared of that. And besides, I know, I think she expressed the house that the movie was shot in. What we see on TV, that wasn't the house. So it was actually done in a studio, I believe she said. So
you are correct.
So the answer is, yeah, you're willing to walk the stairs then.
Willing to go.
Okay.
Willing to go.
It's a date.
Willing to go, and I'll take video of it and put it on social media and send it to you personally.
Okay, awesome.
Yep, because I don't think you think I would do it.
I don't. I think you'd kick it out. I think you'd see the house, you'd go outside, you'd be like, nope, not doing this. Nope.
Mm-mm.
All I have to do is keep telling myself that the stairs and the house, the movie wasn't shot there. They made it look like it was shot there, but it wasn't. And like Elaine already exposed it, so I'm good.
And what if somebody did the spider walk down the stairs in front of you?
Yeah, then I'm leaving.
I'd be out.
Yeah.
I'd be out.
And from what we saw in the movie, that's a long ass stairs going down there. So if they can do it that long, then we know something's wrong.
Tis the season. She wants to go on a hunt where Laura said that she and I can go on a ghost hunt here in Illinois. Somebody needs to take Dvon on a ghost hunt.
No, but
I want to see Dvon ghost hunter style with the camera right there, going, "Are there any spirits here?" I felt something.
I think you can do that in St. Augustine. I'll fly down just to go on a ghost hunt with you in St. Augustine.
Listen, I'm gonna put it to you this way, and I've always said this about these shows. There's no ghost that's going to get ready. So when the cameras start coming in and videotaping, I'm going to get my debut in a reality show about ghosts. Yeah, I don't buy those shows at all. I think that's all a work. I think there's no ghost or any, strange happenings happening during these shows. Listen, ain't no ghost gonna turn it on. The ghost only comes out when people aren't around and there's only one person in the room or maybe even two.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way I feel.
Oh,
I know.
What if I could get us a ghost hunter or somebody who does believe in that on the show? Would you welcome somebody like that to be able to kind of have that back and forth?
It all depends.
Yes, because I know
who it depends.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Well, you probably know, but it all depends. Because my thing is this: if he has a reality show on TV, then of course he's gonna fight. He's gonna say that it's real. It's his show. Okay. It's his show. He's gonna have to do that. The minute he says no, it's not true, Dvon, you're right. What's gonna happen? Ratings.
What if I can find somebody who's more up and coming? Somebody who has done it more as a hobby for the last couple of years rather than on a national network.
I'd be so down.
Okay, how they're going to be able to prove to me that stuff really does happen during the show, that's going to be very hard. But if you can get one to come on, then I'm fine. I'm for it.
Okay. All right. Just curious, I know somebody. I think I know a certain a female who would be perfect for this conversation. Lindsay knows who it is. So
yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
Is she scary?
No, she's not scary at all.
Very
no, actually, quite the opposite. She may actually convince you ghosts are real on these shows.
I think so.
Through hypnotic notice what how? She gonna hypnotize me? What?
She's an attractive blonde. I think that's enough to convince you.
Say no more.
Huh.
She's cute and funny.
Dvon's like, huh.
All right.
See, Laura. See, I love Laura. She agrees with me. She agrees. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment.
Okay.
Next, you're going to say like wrestling's fake or something.
Listen, we're real. And you want to know why? Because we let you know that we're telling you that the outcome is predetermined. We're not like people on these reality shows that like to pretend that it's real and it's not. So we're the only real thing going on nowadays.
Well, I was going to give you my
All
rose
right.
this episode, but I guess not now. Well, just have Dvon watch Scary Video on YouTube. I could easily just pop it up at any time on this show and
I know
tweak
you
them
can.
out. But
I know. And payback will come one day. I don't know how it would do it, but it would. It would. And if we ever get to go out on a Comic-Con or a Wizard World again, when all of this is done and the three of us are out, I will make sure that I find out your room and everything.
yeah, well, I just tuned that out. I have no idea what he just said there, but
Wait, did he say something?
I don't know.
I'll find
But
out your room
speaking
number.
of downtime, pandemic, life being changed, last thing I got before we wrap this up, are you guys good at cooking? Or have you found yourself cooking maybe more during the pandemic?
I would say that I found myself cooking more. I was never a chef, but I definitely was able to cook things that the family didn't throw out in the garbage that they actually ate. So yeah, I can say I'm not a chef, but I can cook.
Okay, Lindsay.
Yeah. Cooking more, yes, but I am no chef. I mean, I rotate through three things.
So we're more of a down to earth group. I can't cook. I'm a takeout sort of guy myself, and the midsection proves that. But anyway, the reason I asked this is because a new report came out that 50% of people coming out of this quarantine here, out of the pandemic, 50% of people think that they have at least one dish good enough for a 5-star restaurant.
Really?
Wow. That's pretty bold.
That's what I was thinking. 53% of people say they have a dish that would wow a professional chef.
I mean,
listen, I put it to you this way. I'm not Italian, of course, and I love to make microwave don't count, Dvon. Stop talking, Greg.
I like him too.
I like make mean spaghetti and meatballs. I know I'm not Italian, but I got a lot of compliments on my spaghetti and meatballs, and I do the meatballs from scratch. It's not out of a package nor a microwave, Greg. And the only thing that's already pre-made, you add some water to it, of course, is the noodles. But the sauce and putting in my seasonings and all of that to spice it up, and including into the meat and all of that. I listen. I think it's great. I can. Listen, when you guys come to Florida, and I'm going to make some spaghetti and meatballs for you, have you over, and you be the judge.
No, I believe you. I think that's great. I think these facts, this research, the survey, it blows my mind that people just think they're that good. And I guess it's a good thing people are optimistic or confident in themselves, but 46% of people think that they are, quote, a professional chef.
What are they making? Does it say like what the dishes are? Is it like casseroles? Like, what do you make at home a lot? Casseroles, spaghetti, tacos.
I'm gonna modify your comment there, Greg, and I'm gonna call him Chef Dvon.
I love it. Thank you, Greg. Now you're back in my good graces.
Chef Dvon there, but I just think that's great. But I get that all the time in radio. Like, oh, I like to talk. I could be on the radio. That doesn't mean people want to hear what you have to say. And I'm sure, Dvon, you hear all the time, like, oh, I could be a pro wrestler. It's no big deal.
The worst thing happens.
I could be a pro wrestler.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay, I think you can. I mean, I'm not mad at you at all. I think you can. I have all the faith in the world in you. But me and Bubba, when we used to go out and, to live events or TV, whatever, and stop at whatever fast food or the gas station or what have you, and people say, oh, you guys are those Dudley boys and blah, blah, blah. And I would always get, so tell me, how can I be a wrestler? You think you could hook me up with that wrestling? Have me go in there and talk to Vince? I'll just be like, number one, no. Talking to Vince? Hell no.
I don't even want to talk to him.
Oh, God. First, you have to learn how to talk first. That's one thing. Number two, at least get rid of that, 10-pound thing you got in front of you that stands that that's not going to work, bro. This is not the night. Okay, no, they make you look like Rey Mysterio. Trust me.
You've been so sweet to me this show, Dvon. I appreciate you.
See. Now stop asking people when I'm going to come out of retirement.
Never.
You and Lindsay both are bad.
It's a staple. If I don't ask it, Lindsay's going to anyway. So
yeah, I know she will. She always does too. Especially if you forget to do it, she's right there to charm in.
I'm willing to bet Dvon would drop the bet and what you have to do, your consequences. He would drop that outfit if you promise Lindsay to never ask that question.
That's really tempting. But I'm going to ask every guest. I want to hear from them.
Whatever. Natalya never really answered that question.
No, she did.
She said no. She said that you never leave. She never said yes or no. She said once you're in the business, you can always come in.
Potato, tomato.
Okay. She never said it. So that's two for me. Somebody else said it too. I just can't remember.
She read between the lines, and even 2 out of all of the many guests we've had, still not a good percentage for you.
Well, all those guests that think I'm going to come out of retirement is crazy. It's not happening
yet. And I agree with you. It's not happening yet.
No, there is no yet. It's not happening. Period. And turn next page.
Yet.
Yeah.
Next chapter.